Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Mike Kollin at crackedfemalecode.com. Okay, so in this video I'm going to make a much shorter version of the last video that I just made. So this is going to be a 2-in-1. I'm going to explain the difference in how the male brain perceives things versus the right female brain, how it perceives things. I'm also going to use this to show you one thing. It's not going to be fullness and everything, but one thing that you can do that'll make women feel comfortable around you and want to come towards you. There's a little bit more to it, but this is going to be a short video. Why? Because in the second half of this video, I'm going to explain something. So, men in general like to get to the point. Just get to the point. The problem is you can't actually understand what the hell someone's saying to you. I could literally say this in 2 sentences and you'd walk away and you're, oh yeah, I logically understand, but you won't know how to do it. Okay, so at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a little secret, not just a secret, an understanding of one piece. This is just one piece, and the difference between how men communicate versus women and why it drives women nuts. And then how to do it in a way that'll draw her to you. Alright, let's get right to it. So the left brain is the closed brain. It's in the box. And by the way, it is literally the closed box. This turns women off. They don't like it. Now the right brain is the open brain, literally. So when people say think outside of the box, most people think that means, oh, well, instead of thinking the way you think, get into my box and think the way I think, just like me. No, that's in the box thinking. So think outside of the box literally means to shift over to your right brain, which is the open brain. It receives massive amounts of information. The left brain is like it's getting information through a little straw, very narrow, it's very limited. And it blocks out 99.997% of all information. It takes in very little. Okay, so when you're in your left brain, your pupils get small. They come together, okay? And now you're looking at a target, like a very narrow, like looking down a scope and looking through the crosshairs, and you're looking at the dot on the target. It's a very narrow system. It's literally what is called the closed system. Now, watch this. The female brain is the open brain. It is the expansive brain. It's all about space and spaciousness. Male brain, narrow, linear, going down a line, like you have blinders on, you can only see what's right in front of you. The women brain is all about being open, not only visually, but auditorily, kinesthetically, which means physically, emotionally, etc. Open versus closed. I wonder what would draw a woman to me. I wonder what would make a woman feel closed off. Interesting, fascinating. Do you think maybe the closed, linear, narrow system would make a woman feel closed off and would make her run away? Why, yes, you would be right. So if the human brain has a program in it that's called that is designed to gain rapport with another human, if you are closed off emotionally and she needs to be open emotionally before she has sex with you physically, how would that affect her? Oh, so if you're closed, then she closes, and then her vagina closes, and then you don't have sex. Now, there's 2 different languages used by these 2 different brains, the left brain versus the right brain. The right brain uses the open language, the left brain uses the closed language. Now, I'm going to give you some examples from military, football, and boxing or kickboxing. Alright, so in football, especially with like the defensive backs, if the ball was passed or if it was handed off, the coaches will scream at the defensive backs, close the gap, close the gap, close the distance, rush the passer. So this is closing. Okay, this is, in other words, you had a lot of space, you had a lot of gap, and a lot of guys, God, what they would say, tighten up, tighten up. Now, this is the way the male brain is. The male brain is the tight brain. When you're in that linear system, your muscles get tight, your brain gets tight, your facial muscles get tight, and you can get a headache from it. In fact, women do get a headache when men are in this part of their brain, and women hate it. That's why after you just spent 150, 200 bucks on a really nice dinner because you wanted to get laid, and that's the truth. That's why you spend a lot of money. And you were very logical, very logical, very logical. And at the end of it, she was, I've got a headache. I'm sorry, but I got to go home. Because you gave her a headache, Mr. Logic. Now, saying that is easy. The hard part is teaching you how to open up. Okay, that's not going to be in this video. This is going to be a quick video. So there's a conditioning process that I will take you through. There are techniques I learned from Buddhist monks. There are techniques I learned from meditation. Techniques I learned from psychology, NLP, hypnosis, and also energy healing. There's a series of techniques that we will run you through to open you up, open you up, open you up. And this connects you to your actual power. For everything, dating, relationship, sports, life, business, everything. Crack the Female Code isn't just about getting laid. Crack the Female Code is about you learning how to crack your own code to access your own power. That really is what this is about. Her mating system has a program that's looking for a man that has access to his own power. So this is what draws women to you. Alright, so here's the deal. The male language is always talking about closing the gap. Now here's kind of funny. Men will use terms like, the gap between her legs and stuff like that, right? And so the female brain is all about space. The male brain is all about closing that space, closing that distance, like a defensive back or middle linebacker. Close the distance, as coaches will scream. Same thing in the military and the army. Like if you have an enemy, there's times when you have to close the distance and you've got to close it now. Same thing in kickboxing. When my coaches were working with me, they'd say things like, close the distance, because it will give you an advantage if you do it at the right time. So this is kind of universal. Alright, so that's me on the left. This is back in my 20s. I'm not that young now. I'm in my 50s now. So this was in kickboxing. I fought for Jacob Stitch Duran. He's a very, very world famous cut man and coach. So in kickboxing especially, there's times when you have to close the distance, okay? But there's also times to leave space. So it's a combination of when to know what to do with what, okay? So I'm going to kind of cut this off here. Okay, so the overall lesson is this. Women enjoy space. It helps them to be in the right brain. When you get close to a woman, you lean forward. It forces her into her forehead, which shoves her into her left brain. Again, this is only one technique I'm going to teach you right now. I'm going to teach another one after this one, but it's just one piece. So the idea is to give women space and everything, in breathing, in communication, literally in talking. So we're really going to focus on the physical now. So a lot of guys, if they like a girl, like at the bank, if she's a teller or at a cashier, they will literally walk right up, put their legs right up against the, not the conveyor belt, but the thing where you put your groceries on, and they'll lean over. Do not do that. At the bank, you'll see these guys like put their elbows down and lean, like how they got that little barrier thing they put a little wood piece in, like when they're closed and they open it. You're not supposed to lean over that, okay? Especially at a bank. That's kind of creepy, dangerous. So my number one goal in the course is to get you to understand how her female mating system and her right brain is wired and why things affect her. Because if you don't understand why, you're like, that doesn't make sense, Mike. Trust me, I've heard this for decades. Not only that, but when you understand what's going on behind the scenes, all of a sudden you start to relax and go, oh, that makes a lot of sense. In fact, that's one of the keys of this course is to get your brain to understand things in a way to where you're like, oh, so she likes this and it makes her feel comfortable. I'm like, yes, that male way of doing things, talking fast, being linear, logical. Oh, dude, see, this is why your emotional nervous system kind of freaks out and panics. Well, geez, this is why a lot of guys have anxiety around women, is because you're doing something that's tightening her up, and your unconscious mind can see that and hear it in her voice, and you're just going, something's not right here. And you start getting nervous. So a lot of guys are like, I don't know, there's something about women I get nervous. I'm like, yeah, it's because the male energy is the push energy. You're being pushy without realizing it. In fact, I've been very pushy in this video, talking fast, because guys want, give me a quick video. And you know what? That's the wrong answer. Because the female brain wants you to slow down. Her mating system wants you to slow. Well, look at this picture right here. Calm, relaxed. So the male energy, everything about our brain, our left brain it's all about speed. It's all about get to the point, get to the point, get to the point. Do not use that around a woman. It will force her into her left brain and turn her off. Get to the point. What did I say to the left brain? The linear logical language. It goes down a line. It's like a bow and arrow that gets to the point at the tip. The word tip and point and specific will irritate the shit out of her. Instead, use open words like the word open. Use words like spacious or spaciousness. They love those words. Now, let's get back to the physical part. So overall, you want to give her space. So don't crowd a woman. That will close her up. When you close her up, she's not going to have sex. She's not going to want to go on a date. She's not going to want to give you her number. Okay, so just think, okay, if I could give you one concept, space. Allow her space. Don't block her in. Okay, I had this one client. We were at a bookstore, and I said, look, whatever you do, if she's in an aisle where it's like closed, do not square up on her. In fact, I won't even walk down the aisle, because these were fairly narrow aisles, like in the bookshelves. I said, if anything, stay outside of the aisle and turn your body sideways, kind of at an angle. That way it's like space can go out. It's a visual thing. It'll let her feel like, hey, I can come and go as I please. Well, what does the idiot do? He walks in, squares up, she's right up against the wall, and she's feeling trapped. So when you're talking to a woman, I don't care, and the best place to do it is at a cashier at a bank. Take a step or take about a half a step back, and then just lean back about an inch or two, just a little bit, not a lot. Take a half step back and lean back. So take 1 foot and drop it back about 6 inches, and then just lean back and balance yourself neutral. Now here's another thing. Do not laser beam her with your eyes. Now it's a very hard thing to explain to you in a quick video. In fact, it's not going to happen, but I'll give you some examples. Yes, go into peripheral vision. The other piece which you really need to do, if you don't do it, it won't matter. You need to bring your awareness inside your body. Now that's a little bit hard. It's really easy. You literally just drop it down inside. Another way you could do it is put your awareness on your back, from your shoulders all the way down to your lower back, and then all the way wide and all the way down. And then imagine that it widens out as it goes back behind you, further and further away, about 10 feet back. So if your awareness is back there, you take the pressure off of her. I'm telling you, when the male eyes, when your pupils are small, you're laser beaming her, and you're pushing her. You're putting pressure on her. And this is why women say, "Stop pressuring me." And you're like, "What are you talking about? We're just talking." Now it was actually a guy at the gym. I went to Chevy's restaurant, it's a Mexican burrito restaurant, and I was there by myself, and he just walked in about 10 minutes later and sat right next to me. I was like, oh God, because this guy was like a lady killer, in the sense of like he killed the vibe. Mr. Logical, of course. So it was a big restaurant, and he starts like leaning to the left and looking all the way to the, and I'm going, dude, what are you doing? I kind of had a creepy feeling, because he was like laser beaming this waitress all the way across the room. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? You're going to get kicked out of here. He goes, what are you talking about? I go, dude, you're like locking onto her, dude. And he was following her with her eyes when she's going from table to table. And she kept glancing over like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I'm like, dude, you're going to get kicked out of here. You need to stop. I go, dude, just go into peripheral vision, bring your awareness back and say, dude, what are you talking about? Dude, you're fucking weird. I'm like, you know what, dude, I might be weird, but I'm not getting kicked out. So when he was looking, I grabbed my food and I moved over about 4 places, because we were up at the bar and we were the only ones there, and I didn't want to get kicked out. So literally about 2 minutes later, because I remember she went in the back, and that's when I grabbed my shit and walked away, because she went in the back because she was scared. And what happened was about 3 minutes later, after I'd moved over, the manager comes up and he got the bartender, hey, give me a bag and give me a to-go container thing, blah, blah, blah. He grabs the guy's food and starts shoveling it into this plastic thing, and then he puts it in the bag, and the guy from the gym goes, what are you doing? And the manager goes, you're leaving. You're scaring my waitress. And then he said, don't come back. So he looked at me like, what the fuck? Guys, there's things that you do that creep women out, but here's the thing, it's totally normal for males. Like, we do it to each other all the time, and women will call us creep, like, she's weird. Like, no, dude, it's creepy. It looks like, it's like you smile at them, so your mouth is smiley, but when you're attracted to women, you go into your hunter system, and it locks on like you're looking down a scope with a crosshair, and so your eyes are kill, and your smile is friendly, so it's a really weird combination. Like, your smile doesn't match your eyes. So it's literally like a psychopath, like a killer. And it really freaks women out. Men are like, what are you talking about? What's she be like that for? Like, dude, I'm telling you, when you open up your right brain, I'll take you out in public, you're like, dude, that guy looks like a psycho. I'm like, yeah, exactly the way you looked your whole life. But you didn't notice it one bit. Here's the deal. If you give women space, they will come to you. They will come into your arms. And this is what makes a woman feel attracted to you. This is how you draw women to you. When you do it the male way, you literally push her away. And men do this all the time. They have no idea. Like, well, why doesn't she want to talk to me? It's like, well, I mean, you pushed her away. Like, what were you expecting? He's like, what do you mean I pushed away? I was talking and yeah, you're being pushy. There's an art to this, guys. This is why I do a 5-day, 6-day training and conditioning course. If you want to learn more, buy my book, Crack the Female Code. It's a 500-page book. There's a lot of NLP in there. There's a lot of hypnosis. There's a lot of psychology, a lot of science, a lot of techniques, etc., etc. Go to crackthefemalecode.com. Alright, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, click subscribe, click the like button, go ahead and make a comment, and I'll see you soon.